EPA employees are told that the money will be used after the second coming of Jesus Christ or during Armageddon right before he would come again. The IRS would not view these as legitimate tax-exempt purposes.
This is not the Church of Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ. The major victory for Satan.
All right, Travis Wayne Goodsell. Next. I'm making sure to get the more substance videos from the 60 Minutes interview in for you first. And so the last one I did require to be longer. And I'm hoping the rest of these should be quicker. So, next. The church, in their response, repeated that they are consistent with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Will continue to move forward consistent with the gospel of Jesus Christ, which makes this world a better place. From his 2019 first presidency statement in response to the whistleblower, which must be factored in with this statement, because what they're referring to is the parable of the talents. And this is their plot to overthrow the government and restore their millennial kingdom. This is why they're building so many temples, so that they can own the land. If you're having trouble with that, I highly recommend watching Yellowstone. It'll teach you all about the fight over land and everybody involved and how they want to build on the land or not build. And even Governor Cox came out, was it last week or did I just do that yesterday? I can't remember. It could have been over the weekend. I don't remember. But he came out and talked about how he's got a website survey for Utahns to recommend how to do his job, because apparently he doesn't know how to do his job in regards to water conservation, transportation, home building, etc. There are 4 different categories. And so I did. It took longer than I wanted, but it was quicker than I expected, as I realized that he was trying to force me to fit my answer within the framework that he was proposing. And so, yeah, some of it is like the John Dutton governor. I'm now in season 5. Keep it the way it was. We're not going to allow growth and newcomers from New York or Southern California. And so, yeah, I've seen and heard those attitudes here in Utah and in Idaho and in Canada and pretty much everywhere out here in the West. The concept of growth, like in the East Coast, they don't want it out here in the West, those who have been here a while. And so I'm very familiar with that attitude. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints under Brigham Young settled this land off of the blood of the natives, taking the land away from them, and then the United States came and took it away from the church. And so Brigham Young kept fighting the nation to restore their land, and the church prevailed, or the nation prevailed. Let the United States prevail. Coin that one too. Let the press prevail, let the Constitution prevail, and screw the church and Jesus. Dear God. But that's the whole point here, is they're using Jesus as a coded symbol when Mormons hear it and go, oh, literal history Jesus. Because it's literal history to the Mormons, they don't catch on to the plot that the church is doing. I know I should have left this book out, because this plays a whole big part in all of this. This is the plot of the church to overthrow the government, where Lucifer hands over the keys of government to Jesus at Adam-on-Diamond. So is there any Mormon out there who really believes that? You'd be surprised. And so obviously the prophets don't believe it. They don't talk to Jesus. Sorry, Mormons. They know they're a fraud. They're playing you for suckers and losers. They're taking your money and fleecing you. But the church is collapsing. This was a major blow. Even previous major blows. This was the major one, because this is 60 Minutes. And whether you like them or not, they're big time. So, and they just crushed the church. And so you've heard in the news about our government leaders in federal office having been bought and paid for. You haven't? Why? The whole Supreme Court is being exposed as having been bought and paid for, and thus making the decisions they're making to overthrow Roe v. Wade and to rig it for any potential cases that might come up regarding January 6th. I already foresee that coming. Why does nobody else? And so the church, likewise, they had Justice Gorsuch attend the Washington, D.C. open house. They got him. And then they also had senators. Mitt Romney brought his new bride, who betrayed the Democrat Party to become independent. She does wear fascinating outfits. If you saw that video of mine about how the church has memberships for sale, only cost you 10% for the rest of your life, 10% of your income, tithing. I know Mormons got it. Ex-Mormons got it. I don't know how many people who don't know the church and are going, what's going on here? What's up with all this? You may not get it. So just bear with me. There's a lot of inside jokes. So don't be an upset Christian because you don't know the inside jokes. But that's what the prophets are counting on, is that even Mormons don't know the code when they speak it at the pulpit of conference. When Nelson gets up and says, in the coming days you will see the greatest miracles and power of Jesus, who's coming soon, you don't put it together. So that when you see the church involved in certain activities, like the Respect for Marriage Act that soon followed in the coming days after conference, and there was the church getting it passed. Now, why would the church have respect for gay marriage? They have a bad history of not supporting gay marriage. And everybody was surprised. Oh, the church supports this. Oh, okay. Wow. The church is changing. We can change the church after all. Wow, isn't that great? No, you forgot to read the exemption clause. The church doesn't respect marriage, and they put their exemption in there to let it be known. They want to be exempt from the laws of the United States because they're plotting to overthrow it. And so, I sent a letter yesterday to the U.S. Attorney General, letting him know I'm still alive. I reached out to him before the church threatened my life, sent me into the shelter to be assassinated. He refused to do anything about it. I've been notifying him and his predecessor, Barr. See, Barr was only because of the lawsuit, because it's RICO, and he needs to make a disposition on it. He chose not to, and instead said, hey, I found this law that we can use on Black Lives Matter protesters, and the prosecutors refused, but January 6th they're using it. Proud Boys, you're welcome. So yeah, the other video I did, the 45, 50-minute one, has all that information. And so the church has used this argument. We're just consistent with the gospel of Jesus Christ to disobey the laws of the land. What about render unto Caesar what is Caesar's? Yeah, they never talk about that, do they? It's always the parable of the talents. And so the church, because they're not getting busted by the Department of Justice, they bought them out. Barr, yep, they owned Barr. Merrick Garland, I'm calling you out. I doubt anybody will be watching this video, even though they should, because that's their job. Hey, Travis is a whistleblower. He's doing a video. He's even mentioning the U.S. Attorney General by name and talking to him directly in his video. I think we better pay attention. You need to do your job. I know the IRS agent says that the IRS are not likely to do anything about it, but he said they are required to, because it's going to be a political nightmare going up against a church. But they violated the law, and so you disregard them being a church because they're not acting like one. Likewise, and so there's a foreshadowing of another video I have planned. Church bought out the IRS. The church has bought out Merrick Garland because he's refusing to do his job. And I don't give a damn what excuse he's making for not doing his job. He has made statements to the effect that no one is above the law. That if somebody breaks the law, they will be treated equally for having broken the law. No matter how high up in government rank, no matter if it's a business, no matter if it's a religion that was understood by Merrick Garland. And he's not doing it, is he? And so he has to have been bought out by the church. Just like the Supreme Court justices, just like congressmen, just like former presidents. That's how you got Trump's favor. Remember? You had to bribe them. Those who are rich, who bribe Trump, get his attention. He does stuff for them because he now can call in a favor when he wants something. And so, yeah, guess who showed up at Welfare Square? Now, Merrick Garland is compromised too, unless we see in the coming days him doing his job. I sent him the letter. It will be in this video. And the clock is ticking. I'd love to say 60 minutes. And so, yeah, anything longer than 60 minutes, the more guilty you are, Merrick Garland. I'm fed up with your inability to do your job. Don't you dare hire somebody else to do your job for you, who will then further delay what is blatantly obvious and must be done immediately to save this nation. Because he has failed to do his job with the government, there are seditious conspirators in government. And they are holding America hostage. And we're on the verge of collapse because of it. Because Merrick Garland failed to do his job. This is urgent. So, took a little bit longer than I expected, but got her done.